All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're doing a highly profound explainer of the Zohar and the Etz Chaim, specifically decoding the cosmic function of Rachel's weeping. We're looking at some of the most intricate architecture of the universe here. I mean, this isn't just some historical narrative of a grieving mother. It is a highly technical, mystical blueprint of reality. We're going to unpack the deep Kabbalistic mechanics of exile, the Sephirotic, and ultimately, the promise of return. To really ground our understanding, I want you to picture this like a 4K cinematic scene based on this text from Jeremiah. Just imagine a windswept, totally desolate crossroads. There's Rachel standing by the roadside, harsh winds sweeping across the path. Around her, visions of war, exile, and just immense mourning unfold as her children pass into the darkness of history. Yet even in this incredibly heavy darkness, if you look closely, there's a distant light gathering on the horizon, hinting at resurrection and the promise of return. So, that brings us to a really deep mystery that the Zohar addresses head-on. Why? Why was the ultimate mother of Israel placed specifically on the road, Derek, rather than in the cave of the patriarchs with the rest of her family? While the ancient texts, particularly in Parshat Vayechi, reveal that her physical placement was absolutely no accident. It reflects a profound structural reality of exactly how the divine interacts with our fractured world. To truly grasp Assad, the secret here, we kind of have to look at this through a cosmic engineering lens. In the Kabbalistic system, Rachel represents Malchut. She isn't just a kingdom. She acts as the cosmic system guardian. Think of her as a monitoring node stationed at a critical boundary of our reality. She's positioned as the ultimate checkpoint guardian at the system's most vulnerable gateway, right where the divine emanations meet the lower worlds. And this brilliantly illustrates the difference between the physical, historical matriarch and her cosmic function. Historically, yes, she's buried in Bethlehem on a physical road, but cosmically, she's stationed at the very edge of exile. She operates as a monitoring node that records every single systemic failure, every single loss, while simultaneously holding and preserving the backup recovery states for full restoration later on. Let's look at how this builds into the exhaustive architecture of the Sephirotic. It's essentially a cosmic distress signal. Down at the bottom, bearing the weight of the exile, you have Malchut, Rachel. When she weeps, she sends a signal straight up to Binah, the upper source server of Rachamim, or mercy, which hears her cry. Below Binah is Tiferet, acting as the mediating processing core that responds to that data. And finally, Yesod serves as the secure routing channel for the eventual return of the light. Her placement on the road actually represents the ongoing timeline of the exile state itself. The Zohar teaches that she accompanies her children through devastating realities. The destruction of the temple, the dispersal, the wars, the martyrdoms. She walks this ongoing road right alongside them, dwelling in the darkness of history, waiting for the timeline to reach the ultimate resurrection. Now, the crucial point here is the data encoded in the system itself, starting with the numbers. The number 2 represents the fundamental binary of this entire architecture. It's the relentless cycle of death and rebirth, of entering exile and the promise of return. It's that dual nature of din and rachamim, judgment and mercy, pulsing through the universe. Then we have the number 7. As our sources outline, 7 represents the lower Sephirotic and the grueling, repeating cycles of exile and suffering the system just has to endure. It's the full spectrum of time and earthly existence where the system undergoes its most intense stress testing and shattering. And finally, 12. 12 symbolizes the children, the tribes. If we're keeping with our technical analogy, these are the restored data packets that absolutely must successfully return through the checkpoint. The entire purpose of the system's architecture, and Rachel's vigil, is to ensure that all 12 components are ultimately retrieved from the exile state. What's really fascinating here is the color shift. The texts talk about this a lot. The system in exile is bathed in red. This denotes intense din, rigorous judgment, war, catastrophic loss, basically a shattered system. But the system is inherently designed to heal. It shifts to white as it awakens rachamim, or mercy. That white light gathers, initiating the resurrection sequence and the ingathering of the exiles. During these periods of intense red, times of war, systemic failure, and martyrdom, souls fall into what Kabbalah calls the klipot, the lowest, huskiest realms of creation. But crucially, Rachel is right there. She maintains the guardian's log, recording every drop of blood, every single loss. She's the presence that ensures absolutely nothing is permanently deleted or forgotten. To make this mechanism perfectly clear, let's think about it like a video game. Rachel is essentially the guardian NPC stationed at a crucial checkpoint. You might fail the level, you might witness terrible losses, but because she is stationed right there witnessing all of it, she guarantees that your revival mechanics are eventually unlocked. Her very presence at the checkpoint secures your future respawn. And this initiates the recovery protocol detailed in the Etz chime. The mechanics are super precise. When the system reaches Chatzot, the exact stroke of midnight, Rachel descends as the point of Malchut into Bria, the lower realm of creation. Once there, she gathers up the lost sparks and trapped souls, fully initiating the recovery protocol to bring them back up. Understanding Chatzot, or midnight, is absolutely vital here. It's not just a time on a clock. It is the exact moment the cosmic monitoring node, Rachel, pings the upper servers. Her weeping at Chatzot isn't just emotional grief. It's a highly calibrated cosmic engineering protocol pinging the Bina server to demand immediate data restoration and mercy for the system. And this is where that distant light of resurrection begins to gather, fulfilling the incredible promise of Jeremiah 31:16. There is hope for your future, and your children shall return to their own border. The upper servers acknowledge the ping. The system registers that the backup data is secure, and the return is finally imminent. The cosmic shift to white light manifests precisely right here. The white light of Rahamim descends from Bina. Yesod, the cosmic foundation, opens its secure routing channel. Those 12 data packets, the tribes, are called back from the brink of the Klipot. The protocols of full system resurrection, officially begin. So, what should you really take away from all this? It's profound. The Guardian's vigil on that desolate road ends not in tragedy, but in the ultimate triumph of the system's restoration. Rachel's weeping is the ultimate assurance, hard-coded into the fabric of the universe, that no matter the severity of the systemic shattering, full recovery and redemption are 100% guaranteed. I want to leave you with this provocative thought. When the desolate path finally fills with the light of returning souls, how will your own dimension be changed? Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.